This is the daily personal inventory form, and we're going to talk a little bit about how this works. I decided to put this together because I noticed that I tend to be in a bad mood the most when I'm hungry, if I don't eat, and if I don't eat well, or if I eat too much or too little or whatever. If there's any food problems, that tends to screw with my mood the most. Now, there are other factors. Obviously, bad days come from more complex things. And so I thought if I just tracked everything that I did on kind of a high level, I could get an idea of where things were lacking in the long run, and I can look at that specific data as well. So I put together this form that asks a lot of questions, not too many, something you can fill out in probably a couple minutes each day. And you can say, how good was my day? How rested or refreshed did I feel when I woke up in the morning? How long did I sleep? How did I wake up during the night for any reason? Did I eat breakfast? How healthy was the breakfast? Did you eat lunch? How healthy was the lunch, etc. There's stuff about exercise. There's stuff about the quality of your work day and social interactions, and if you procrastinated. So you fill all this stuff out, and it gets pushed into a spreadsheet. And you can see all the data is collected here, and you're assigned a score based on the averages you put in. So every time a new row is submitted, this number will change for better or for worse depending on how your day went. And you can take a look at these scores here and see that you've got a whole, you've got a good look at the data. You can see, where are you lacking? Like I clearly in my fake data here have been waking up a lot at night because my sleep score is being brought down because I'm waking up. And if you want to see what your average scores are in general that take some of these things into account together, you can go to your scorecard and you can see my eating score, how much I remember to eat, is at 82. My drinking score is at 64, how much I remember to drink the correct amount of water each day. My healthy eating score is at 61. I haven't been eating very healthy in my fake data. My overall diet score is 69, which takes all of these things into account and averages them basically. The sleep score is how well I've been sleeping, how often I wake up, and all of that. And exercise is if I exercise enough during the day and for the right amount of time. And that this takes into account that you may not exercise every day, but that you get in basically an average of 15 minutes per day, whether you do that 15 minutes every day or you do 30 minutes every other day or something like that. Your emotional score is basically an average of how you feel, how you say you felt each day. And the procrastination score is how much you've been procrastinating, how much you've been not procrastinating. As you can see here, it's a 4. These are all out of 100. And my procrastination score, because I just responded that I'm basically procrastinating all the time, is at a crappy 96. So that means the procrastination score here is 4, because that's how little I'm procrastinating. I'm not procrastinating. So the average score is 71, and so I'm doing 71 out of 100 points on average, which is okay. And I can see that all in this nice little graph here by going to the scorecard graph. You can switch between all these views down at the bottom, and you can see what's going on here. And this is a really good overview to just look at, because you can see what am I doing bad at here. This is where I am on average. You can see I'm doing really well in the exercise, and that I'm at least above 75% in how I feel each day, and I'm remembering to eat enough. But I'm not necessarily drinking enough water or eating healthy enough, because that's bringing my overall diet score down. I'm apparently sleeping pretty poorly. I'm obviously procrastinating a lot. And this is kind of the baseline for everything. So anything that really drops below 71, you want to worry about, because that's what's bringing down your score. But you especially want to worry about the things that are, low here. So according to this fake data, I need to improve how healthy I eat, and how much I sleep, and how much I procrastinate. I need to stop doing that. So that's what this data can show you. But because this is all staved into a spreadsheet here, and you have all this data, you can take this information and you can create new graphs and new algorithms yourself, and try to figure out you can take your procrastination score and or your let's say sleep score, and say how many bad days did I have where I slept poorly, and then match up, how many times you thought you had a bad day, that your bad day was, say, below a 3, and the number of hours you slept was below 6 or below 8, or however many hours you need to sleep every day. So you can take this data and start making, if you know how to use spreadsheets and do all the calculations with the functions that are offered in here, then you can do all sorts of neat things with this information, but this will give you a basic overview. One last thing is that when you have this data, you can also look at the statistics that Google gives you just by filling it out. And you can do that by going to the form menu and choosing show summary of responses. It'll open up a little window, and you can see how good was my day. On average, I thought I had a good day more often, apparently. And I also had a bad day. Average days were pretty unusual. And you can see how this data breaks down basically. How often do I have to obviously wake up in the night a lot, about as much as I eat breakfast. So you can go through here and you can find out a bunch of interesting information. And this is, a way to quantify yourself and see how you're doing in different areas of your life. And it's pretty neat. So just go ahead, fill this out. It will, I don't know how many responses it's going to take, but it just makes a new row every time. And you should be able to, put in essentially an unlimited number of responses and collect an unlimited number of data and see what you're doing. Although you may want to reset it at times if you make big changes in your life or whatever. It's totally up to you. You can add more questions. You can do whatever you want by just editing the form to actually make this form your own. You'll just follow the link in the Lifehacker post, go to File, choose Make Copy, and then you can copy that into your own Google Docs account and use it as you please. Enjoy, and hopefully you'll learn a few things about yourself.